Well, these days we're increasingly being asked questions about Formula 1 motor racing, two of the most common being, will there ever be an Irish Grand Prix? Well, if you've got around £50 million to spare, it might be possible. Also, will any of the current crop of talented young Irish drivers make it all the way to Formula 1? Well, given the right support, the talent certainly is there. Damien Faulkner and Johnny Kane are two cases in point. Both of their sights set on Grand Prix motor racing, but they're not the only ones, the only young hot shoes trying to make the grade. This is the ultimate goal for anyone who has experienced the thrill of racing a car in anger, a place amongst the elite on the Formula 1 grid. There's no shortage of talented drivers here in Ireland, and this week, 6 of them were nominated for this year's Dunlop RIAC Driver of the Year. Ed O'Connor, Jeff Wright, Neil Shanahan, Donal Loughrey, Philip Keogh, and Kieran Greenan. This year, along with £2,000 in prize money, the winner also receives free travel from Stena to compete in the UK next year, and a year's supply of lubricants from Castrol. The winner also gets the most coveted prize in Irish motorsport, the Sexton Trophy.
Originally awarded back in 1931 to Walter Sexton, who acted as clerk of the course for the Grand Prix from 1929 to 31. He was an original member of the Royal Irish Automobile Club. He was a committee member at the very start. He was their honorary treasurer one time, the honorary secretary. And he was also a competitor. He actually raced. But after his death in 1947, his widow, in his memory, decided to present it back to the RIAC, and the RIAC decided to award it on an annual basis to the best Irish racing driver. And it has been awarded continuously since 1948, so that this is the 50th presentation of the Walter Sexton Memorial Trophy.
And the winner of the RIAC Dunlop Driver of the Year for 1997 is Neil Shanahan.
It all started when I was a young lad. I was always into cars and racing cars, and my dad was a keen racing enthusiast. And one day, by chance, we went down to Oulton Park to see what was racing, and there happened to be kart racing on. And we took it from there. I fell in love with the idea of racing karts. So my dad put the idea that if I saved up half the money for a second-hand kart, I could go racing. So I saved up half the money over a period of 2 years and started from there. I'd done the 2 years in karting, and I was runner-up in the Formula A Karting Championship last year. And then we made the decision to move into Formula 4 car racing. We went to Mick Motorsport, based down in Wicklow, and we talked to Mick about racing Formula 4s, and the two families gelled well together, and we found a car that was for sale, a good car, ex-Tim Mullen, and we bought the car and we started testing. We'd no real problems this year. I mean, we won 10 races, and I won the Phoenix Park races, and it was just been the perfect season, and I don't think I'll have a season like that again. It's too good to be true, really, and to win the Sexton Trophy it's just a perfect end to a perfect season, really. I like close racing, wheel-to-wheel racing, and I like being in close company when I'm racing, and I think that might stand to me if I progress further in racing, as that's what it's like in Europe. It's close racing, wheel-to-wheel.
And of course, you do intend to try and progress. Tell me about your plans over the next couple of years.
Well, for next year, I'm planning to race the Ford of Ireland Z-Tech Championship. I'm also going to be sitting my leaving cert next year, so hopefully after that I'm planning to do some races in England and see if I can prepare to the big boys, and hopefully take it from there, maybe race a full season the following year, live in England, possibly Formula Renault Sport or something like that, and hopefully take it from there. My ambition is to make it to F1, but if I don't get all the way, I certainly want to be a professional racing driver.
Of course, finance is all important as you try and develop your career. How do you approach that particular side of motor racing?
Well, the finance is always the hard thing. My father and my manager, Mick Merrigan, have been very good this year in finding finance for me. We managed to acquire Tipperary Water and Michael Tynan Motors and Williams Airfreight and such companies who showed their faith in me this year, and it really paid off. I'd done exactly what we said we might do this year, and we won everything this year, and it could not have been better. It all helps.
Every driver's ambition and dream is to get into Formula One motor racing. How realistic is it for an Irish driver to get through the various categories and finally make it?
Well, it's a very hard thing to do. I mean, I think the Irish drivers are not at much of a disadvantage to other drivers around the world, because I think the racing in Ireland is very good. We've seen this year in the Ford of Ireland E-Tech Championship that we can race with the best of them, and it's very hard, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
We have one picture of you here, Neil, sitting in a Jordan. Not the current Jordan, of course, but one from '95, I think it was. That, of course, would be a dream, to sit in the Jordan and sit on the Briton one, wouldn't it?
That was another highlight to my year, going to the Jordan factory. I sat in the 96 and 97 cars, and I was smiling for weeks after that. It was fantastic. Mick Merrigan actually brought me over with my family, and it was a great day out.
So have you been on the phone to Eddie since?
No, not yet, but maybe in a few years down the road, you might take me on, do a bit of testing.
Well, hopefully more than a bit of testing for Neil Shanahan there, the Dunlop RIAC Driver of the Year. Certainly it's hard to believe he's only 18 years old, but with a bit of luck and some financial support over the coming years, he could very well make it to Formula One.